What's up, people? Welcome to episode 4 of RUV Psychological Care. It has been long, but we are back.
With a bang.
With a bang. So, today's episode, it's about something that has been happening in our country. It can be really torturing to see your own relatives killing one another, to see your friends killing one another, to see couples also killing one another. And all this is about anger. Now, to recap on, we are on 21 days of prayer and fasting. The first week we were praying on about families. And most of the days we were praying about, the orphans, the widows, the people, the culprits of murder and all those things. And it's really torturing to see that you can just disagree on a small thing and result it to killing. It's really bad. So today we have the one and only, the CEO, the CEO of Psychological Care. And we're kidding, we have Vincent here to talk about anger. So now we are beginning and discussing. Vincent, let me ask you, what do you understand about relating with one another, with the fact that we have to relate, we have to disagree on many issues? How do you understand about relating with one another when there's a disagreement?
Okay, relating with one another when there is a disagreement. Okay, people who relate have to disagree at a certain point.
Yeah.
So you expect people who relate to disagree. That is a fact, right? And at this point, you have to understand that disagreement sometimes can be as a result of what you are calling anger. Okay?
Yeah.
So I normally say that everybody gets angry at some point, right? So in real sense, anger is a common emotion, right?
Yeah.
As in, it's an emotion that is shared among everybody because everybody gets angry at some point. But now the reason behind getting angry is what makes people to behave differently, or to react to anger differently. We usually say that anger is a primary emotion that hides a secondary feeling. Like, let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, let me give you an example of my family, whereby we have my father and my mom, and then we tend to disagree on an issue whereby they are saying they want to go somewhere, and they have not informed me prior, so that I can loosen my engagements before that time. So they just abruptly tell me that tomorrow we are going somewhere. So I have to loosen. They have to tell me before so that I can loosen whatever I was planning. So, but normally people will tend to assume. I can just assume these people are not
doing anything.
No,
they are idle.
They are not caring about my plans that I have.
Okay.
So they want me to just assume or just accept anything that they tell me before they consult with me. Right?
No.
So I will get angry at them. I don't know whether you're getting.
Yeah, I'm getting.
I'll get angry at them, but I will not specifically tell them why I got angry.
Wow.
So the anger will be like the primary emotion that is hiding the secondary feeling. All right. So the secondary feeling here will be these people are thinking that I'm not. I tend to feel that these people don't care about my plans. All right. So I tend to feel like they don't care about my plans. So that is the secondary emotion. But the primary emotion here is anger. So in short, people have to disagree, right? That one is a fact.
Yeah.
People will disagree. Even in families and in marriages, you'll find that people are, like you were saying an example of, I don't know whether you gave that example, but people tend to disagree. When we look at let's say the psychological status of the marriages that we have in Kenya right now, you'll tend to find that spouses are killing each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to do with, it doesn't have to be spouses alone, but also even family members, people who have been living together. Like, I don't know, the case with Waruge.
Yeah.
The guy is called Lawrence Waruge.
Yeah.
And the other pastor who killed the wife.
Yeah.
So people are disagreeing. They are disagreeing, but the anger is the one that is being displayed there, and people, you tend to kill someone because of how you are reacting to that anger. But you are not telling these people the reason behind
why you are
why
angry.
you are angry.
Let me cut you short.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Vincent. Do you think that, like the case of Lawrence, do you think that parents tend to feel we are still kids even after we are adults? They don't
Exactly.
give us the space
Exactly.
to present what
Yeah.
we feel and who we are.
In a
Do you think that?
Yeah, of course. In a psychological view, people have to express themselves, and when you're not given the chance to express yourself, you resent, and then you keep that feeling to yourself. All right.
Yeah.
So one day it will give an outburst, and then
Okay.
you'll do something stupid or something. People tend to call it stupid or crazy, but it's a fact. You are expressing what you feel.
Okay.
So let me cut you short. We say that anger is expressed differently. Yeah, let me say it differently. Like, for example, there are people who get angry. When they get angry, they tend to internalize the anger. They will not confront you.
Yeah.
And that's why you'll find some people, when they say, they keep memories of bad things that you did to them
True.
for a long time.
Yeah.
And when
Forgetting
you
the
meet,
positives.
yeah, when you meet with them, let's say, like, you may wrong me today, but then I keep that to myself. Then next year, I'll be telling you, you did this to me. I don't know whether you understand.
Yeah.
So that person hasn't told you anything in between. They kept it to themselves, the bad things that you did to them. So there are people who internalize anger, and there are people who confront the anger. All right? You have done something wrong to me. I'll tell it. I'll give the outburst at that moment, right?
I'll just
Speak it out. All right?
Okay.
But then there are people who just withdraw. They will not keep the memories. They will not confront you, but they'll just withdraw. All right?
Yeah.
So they just don't care about what you're telling them.
Yeah.
So people are different.
Yeah.
And that depends with the personalities. There are
Yeah.
people, let's say, for example, the internalizing people, they tend to be the introverts. Psychologically, right?
Yeah.
Because you may do something wrong to me, right? And then if I'm an introvert, I will keep it to myself. Of course, you've hurt me. I will not talk about what you've done to me, but I will internalize that thing. All right? But when it gets to the extreme of internalizing, because at the end of the day, everybody gets tired.
Yeah.
Psychologically, you will get tired. So you may plan bad things, like the case with Lawrence Baruki. Maybe, I'm not saying that is what happened, but it happens in other families too.
Yeah.
All right? Whereby you find that person is an introvert, but then you've been, there are issues that may not be realistic. I mean, when you look at them in a family setup, they may not look realistic. Let me give an example. Let's say maybe Waruge and their families, as maybe they had a disagreement, and the kid was feeling that these parents are not taking care of me like they are taking care of the other kids, and that's why he killed
Even the
siblings.
siblings.
So you may feel neglected,
Yeah.
or separate, all right? And then you tend to feel that these parents don't even appreciate me in the family. So that thing can stay in you for a long time. If you are the internalizing type, you keep that feeling to yourself for a long time. Then finally, what you'll do is that you may plan to do something to create an attention. All right? And that's why that guy could publicly say that I killed them.
Yeah.
All right? You want, at the end of the day, you are just bringing that anger out. All right? After a long time, planning on how you'll do something crazy to create an attention finally, right?
Yeah.
Anger, as you're saying, anger can also be accompanied by depression. Whereby you find someone is angry, at the same time they are depressed. And mostly when people are depressed, they tend not to talk. They will not talk about what they are feeling. They will look withdrawn. You understand?
Yeah.
And that person can live a private life, like an introvert, when maybe they were not an introvert. They were they were extroverts, but then they tend to assume the introvert type when it's combined with depression.
Yeah.
So you may find an extrovert person who is also doing the same thing as Waruge. In that case, anger is
person is
accompanied with depression.
depression,
All right?
okay.
Because with depression, an extrovert can become an introvert.
Introvert,
They
yeah.
can assume the introvert traits.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, so You were saying something. I was just trying to explain that case.
Okay, how you brought up, that's one thing, in a religious way, can try and minimize how we relate in a family setup, and can try and minimize the number of bad doings within a family setup.
Yeah.
Do you think it's...
Yeah. Actually, that is something that you cannot avoid when you're talking about psychology. You cannot avoid religion. Yeah, when you're examining, when you are assessing a patient or a client who presents at your facility with psychological attention, you have to look at their religion, whether they are religious. Because upbringing, or what we say, nurturing. Nurturing.
Yeah,
Okay?
nurturing.
Okay, you say there's nature and there's nurture. Nature can be influenced by the people around you, all right, or the environment that you live in. But then nurturing,
it's within
the way you are brought up.
Yeah.
So understanding that religion is something that you grow with, all right. So there are some religious
that you can't.
There are things that you cannot do because they have been molded into you when you are growing up in a religious setup. So actually that is also an influence. Behavior is influenced by nurturing, the way you are brought up. It is also influenced by nature.
Okay.
Because we usually say that even your personality as a person, it is a function of your behavior and then plus the environment that surrounds you. Because you tend to assume that people tend to assume certain behaviors, and these behaviors are influenced by their environment that is around them, and they grow differently, all right?
Okay.
But that case with religion, actually religion plays a bigger role.
So we all agree that religion, we all agree that parents need to be very careful when they are bringing their children.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
They have to be
So
very careful.
the other thing I was concerned about, do you think that when we are growing up, there are times we need less, let's say less distractions from our parents? Like we need to think on our own, and we just need someone to support us, to give us a hand. Do you think that also can, when our parents try to baby us, let me use that in quotes, baby us, it can bring us to a situation where we can think they're not giving us a room, so we can be more, the introverts can be more, how do I put it, depressed, and think that why are we not being given a room to express ourselves? Why is mom and dad thinking that I'm always a kid, I can't do this and this, and I'm trying to portray something? Do you think that also could also influence the kind of killings that parents are getting nowadays?
Normally, because I mean, when you're growing up, you have to be molded by a lot of things, all right? It's not only your parents alone. And that's why there are different social setups, even in the society, whereby you find you have to be in school, let's say, for example, the primary school, secondary school, and then the tertiary level. In all those areas, the people you are meeting, they influence you in a certain area. Like, for example, you may meet someone who may show you this is how things are done, all right? So every environment and every surrounding that you're in influences you as a person. That's why I talked about behavior being influenced by environment, all right? So actually, when you are being babysitted, or when you are being controlled by your parents, and they are not giving you that freedom, they assume that whatever you have learned outside there should not be part of you. So it's like you're neglecting this person, something that they have learned. So as a parent, I would advise, as a psychologist, give these children a platform to express themselves, not just being judgmental. Yes, you are a parent. There's some things that you cannot accept in the family setup.
Of course.
But again, when you listen to them,
you will know how to handle situations when come.
In fact, they give you an opportunity
to learn what's happening.
And to learn how to handle them.
Yeah.
It's a part of learning. So you have to give the kids an opportunity. Even some of the ideas, the crazy ideas they tell you, they may think to them, they think that these ideas are right. Okay? Because they have learned them from somewhere. But that doesn't mean that you should rubbish everything and not at least consider some of them.
Okay. We are going to wrap it there. But more stories
we are
to
going
happen.
To do anchor management techniques.
We are going to bring another topic on anchor management.
So you can just subscribe to our channel here, And also to our channel. What is the channel, by the way? CV Digital Technologies. But to our channel, you can subscribe, hit the button, like, comment, the same. Do the same to her. And we'll be posting a lot of videos. You guys
Yes.
go and check them. Look at the other videos. We'll be doing a lot of content, right?
Yeah.
So just follow us, subscribe. You can, yeah, just do